Hello, I'm Rebecca Ray. I'm the Assistant Dean for Admissions and Financial Aid at the College of Law. My pronouns are she, her, hers. It depends. We typically get anywhere between 2 transfer students to up to 9 transfer students. Over 90% of the students at the College of Law have some scholarship from the college. Those scholarships range from $5,000 all the way up to full tuition scholarships, and the scholarships are guaranteed for all 3 years, provided you remain enrolled in our JD program. Our medians are a 166 on the LSAT and a 3.71 on the undergraduate GPA. So you can use those as well as the 25th and 75th percentiles to sort of gauge where you are among admitted and enrolled students at the College of Law. For splitters applying to Illinois law, it depends a little bit on which direction you're a splitter, if your LSAT score is higher and your undergraduate GPA is lower, or vice versa. But in either scenario, I would encourage you to apply on the earlier end of the application cycle. And if you feel it's appropriate, you can go ahead and submit an addendum. So if your GPA is lower, you could submit an addendum explaining the reasons for a lower GPA, particularly if it's in a given semester or you started undergrad and had a particularly rough time. If your LSAT score is lower, you may want to retake the LSAT, or you could submit an addendum explaining the circumstances behind your LSAT score. This is a great question. I have small kids, so that changes my travel a little bit. Right now, we really like to go to Disney World when we have a chance to. Personally, I've enjoyed my trips to Europe, Hawaii, so I like to travel a lot. I get to travel a lot for my job, but right now, probably the biggest destination for my family is going to Walt Disney World. Our application opens every year on September 1st. I typically recommend that to give yourself the best chance of admission and the best chance of the maximum amount of scholarship, that you apply by January 1st, if possible. This is another great question. For students who are either currently in undergrad or are within a year of having graduated undergrad, we require 2 academic letters of recommendation. That would be our strong preference. We will read up to 4 letters of recommendation. So an internship supervisor or somebody that you worked for during the summer would make an excellent 3rd or 4th letter of recommendation. For students who've been working a little bit after graduation from undergrad, we would not necessarily expect faculty members or academic letters in that circumstance. And in those circumstances, we would accept professional letters of recommendation. For all applicants, the letters of recommendation should be either academic or professional in nature, or people that can speak to you like a coach on a sports team or something from college and beyond. We have a number of clinical offerings at the college. Our clinics include the Family Advocacy Clinic, our Immigration Law Clinic, our Federal Civil Rights Clinic. We will be having a First Amendment clinic starting next academic year. We also have a medical legal practice clinic and our intellectual property clinic. The Chicago program is a program that is pretty unique to Illinois law in terms of how it's set up. Our students in their last semester, so spring semester 3L year, can take their classes in Chicago. The classes are offered at the Illini Center on Wacker Drive or are hosted by their adjunct faculty that are teaching the classes at their law firms. There's no application to participate in the Chicago program. You register for the classes that are being offered in Chicago, and the idea is that students will either work for a small to medium-sized law firm during that semester or do an externship for a legal aid or government entity in the city of Chicago. It's a great way to transition from your college experience and the experience in Champaign-Urbana to the more urban professional setting in Chicago. First of all, your personal statement is a writing sample, so it should be well organized, well thought out, free of spelling errors and grammar mistakes. In terms of substance, I generally like to know why the person is applying to law school, why they want to go to law school. That is going to look different for lots of different applicants, but generally you should be looking for talking about things that you're passionate about, what's sort of driving you to go to law school. Other topics that make good subjects for personal statements include overcoming obstacles, a problem that you solved. So sort of think about those topics and brainstorm when you're sitting down to write your personal statement. This is a process that should take several weeks to go through multiple drafts and have feedback from other people looking at your personal statement. That depends. At the beginning of the cycle, you may wait a little bit until we start looking at applications, typically in October and November. After we start sort of really reviewing our applicants, it could take 4 to 6 weeks to get a decision once you go into review.